Good afternoon, students. So let's continue with our third chapter, triangles, practice set 3.1. So as we continue here, that the question number 8, in a figure it is given that line AB parallel to line CD and line PQ is a transversal. As we see here, these two lines parallel to each other and that line PQ is what? Transversal. Ray PT and ray QT are bisectors of angle BPQ and angle PQD respectively. Here as we draw these two rays, that the ray PT is a bisector of angle BPQ and ray QT is bisector of angle PQD, as by this symbol as we show here, that ray PT and ray QT are what? Bisectors intersecting each other at point T. Then we have to prove that that the angle PTQ is equal to what? 90 degree. Okay, so students, which properties are important here, that we see first. To prove this angle PTQ is 90 degree, what we do here, we select this triangle PTQ, where as you know that the property is what? Sum of measures of all angles of triangle is 180 degree. Okay, means like this, that the in triangle PTQ, angle PTQ plus angle QPT plus angle PQT is equal to what? 180 degree. Okay, and then what we do here, we try to show that angle QPT and angle PQT, this sum is 90 degree. Okay, and to show this sum is 90 degree, what we do here, we use interior angle property or that interior angle theorem. If two lines are parallel to each other and there is one transversal, then that interior angles on either side of transversal are what? Supplementary. Means here we taking that interior angles, that the angle BPQ plus angle PQD, these two angles are interior angles and these two angles are supplementary, means that sum is 180 degree. Okay, and as we multiplying both sides by half, then we getting half angle BPQ plus half angle PQD equal to what? Half of 180 is 90 degree. And what we know about that, the rays are what? Bisectors. Okay, and that bisector property means what? That bisector means ray PT is a bisector, so it divides that BPQ in two equal parts and that each part is half of that BPQ. Similarly here ray QT is a bisector of PQD, means that ray QT divides that angle in two equal parts and that each part is half of that angle PQD. So we getting half of angle BPQ, means that BPQ having these two parts, that angle BPT and angle QPT, and both are half of BPQ, means half of BPQ is nothing but angle QPT. Okay, and similarly half of that PQD, means here we have that two equal parts of that PQD and that each part is half of PQD, means angle PQT is half of PQD, and instead of that half of PQD we write down angle PQT. Okay, and these two angles are the angles of triangle PTQ, where we getting this addition as 90 degree. So using that theorem, that the sum of measure of all angles of triangle in triangle is 180 degree, we put that value over here as 90 degree, so that remaining angle PTQ we get at is as 90 degree. Okay, so now pay attention over here, how we write down that the solution of, or how we prove these at the steps of this example. Okay, so like this we prove it. So first we taking that what? Interior angle theorem, that the line AB parallel to line CD and line PQ as a transversal as it is given part. So that angle BPQ plus angle PQD is equal to what? 180 degree, with reason as what? Interior angle theorem. Then as we multiplying both sides by half of angle BPQ plus half angle PQD is equal to half of 180 degrees, 90 degree. And here we change these angles, as ray PT is bisector of angle BPQ. As you notice in this figure that the PT is bisector of angle BPQ, means these two equal parts are half of that BPQ. So we will take according to that triangle as angle QPT. Angle QPT is half of BPQ, or you can say half of BPQ is equal to angle QPT. Similarly, ray QT is a bisector of that angle PQD, so that two equal parts, again half of that PQD, and again here also according to that triangle we taking that angle PQT, which is half of angle PQD. Okay, so we replace this half of BPQ plus half of PQD with these two angles of triangle PTQ, and hence from 1, 2 and 3 we can write it as angle QPT plus angle PQT. Instead of these two is equal to 90 degree and number it as 4. And then we use that the theorem sum of measure of all angles of triangle is 180 degree in triangle PTQ. Here you write down that the property, and then take that addition of these three angles is equal to 180 degree. But in fourth equation we show that the sum of measure of these two angles is 90 degree. Okay, so we replace this value as 90 degree here. So angle PTQ plus 90 degree equal to 180 degree, and hence angle PTQ equal to what? 180 degree minus 90 degree, and therefore angle measure of that angle PTQ is 90 degree. So like this we have that 3-mark question in exam. Okay students, so here we use that the property of first as interior angle theorem, then we use angle bisector property, and then sum of measure of all angles of triangle is 180 degree. Using these three properties we write the proof of this example. Okay, so write down this in your notebook. Okay students, okay, that ninth one I will keep it as your homework students. At the ninth example solve as homework. Now we do try for that 10th example. Here again we have given one figure, and in figure it is given that line DE parallel line GF. Okay, here is that segment DE. As we extended it both sides, it's line D parallel to this dotted ray FG, means as we extended this downside it's line GF. Okay, these two are parallel lines, and ray EG and ray FG, ray EG and ray FG are bisectors of angle DEF and angle DFM respectively. So it is shown by this symbol. Bisectors means divides that given angle DEF into equal parts, and here also that ray FG is bisector of DFM. That angle means here we have that two equal parts of that angles. Okay, then we have to prove that angle DEG is equal to half of angle EDF. Okay, so in this figure where is that DEG and that angle EDF, that we notice here, as I use letters X and Y to denote that angles. Angle DEG, here is angle DEG which is denoted by X, equals to what? Half of angle EDF. Okay, as denoted by y, means we have to prove that x is equal to half of y. And then again we have to prove that the EF equal to FG. Here is segment EF and here is that segment FG. We have to prove that EF equal to FG also. Okay, so pay attention how we prove this. First we prove this x is equal to half of y. Okay, that letters only for better understanding I taking here. We usually in proof we write down that the name of angles only. Okay, to prove this first part that the angle DEG is equal to half of angle EDF, I roughly bifurcate that given figure. Okay, now step by step, pay attention over here how to prove this first part. What we do here, students, here that line DE parallel to line GF is given, and as we taking that line EF as a transversal, then here we getting two angles. Angle DEF is equal to what? Angle GFM. These two angles as corresponding angles. Okay, then what we do here, students, again with that same parallel lines DE parallel to FG, and as we change that transversal as DF, so here we getting that pair of alternate angles, that the angle EDF equal to angle DFG. Okay, so what we know about that, ray FG is bisector of angle DFM, and it means it divides that angle DFM in two equal parts, that the angle DFG, here is angle DFG and angle GFM, means this right hand side part is equal of measures of angles. So we say angle DEF and angle EDF also equal, that the left hand side part angles. Okay, so here we getting that EDF, which we compare with angle DEF. Okay, why we taking here angle DEF equal to EDF? Because that the angle DEG is the part of angle DEF. As again here it is given that the ray EG is bisector of angle DEF, means that ray EG divides that angle DEF into equal parts, and that each part is half of that angle DEF, means DEG equal to what? GEF, and that each part is half of angle DEF. So we say angle DEG is equal to half of angle DEF, but in above we prove that angle DEF is equal to angle EDF. So we replace this angle DEF with angle EDF, and that is our, that we have to prove. Understood it? What we doing here, we first prove angle DEF equal to angle EDF by this corresponding angle theorem and alternate angle theorem, and then we use that angle bisector property here, and we say angle DEG is half of angle DEF, but we already proved that angle DEF is equal to angle EDF, so we change or we replace this angle DEF with angle EDF. This is the first part of that what we have to prove. Okay, so like this we write down that the proof of that first part. Getting this, first we're taking these two lines parallel, line D and line GF as given, and we select that the line EF as a transversal, so we're getting that the corresponding angles pair, angle DEF and angle what? GFM. Okay, and similarly as line D parallel to line GF, and we change the transversal as DF, so here we getting that the alternate angle pair, that the angle Y and this cross symbol angle EDF and angle DFG, but these two are congruent or equal in measures. So according to that, 1, 2 and 3, we get angle DEF is equal to angle EDF. Okay, DEF, this whole angle is equal to that EDF. And then we again use that angle bisector property, that the EG is bisector of angle DEF, so that two equal parts DEG and GEF, which are half of angle DEF. So we taking only angle DEG is half of angle DEF, but we already proved that the angle DEF is equal to angle EDF, so we replace this angle DEF with angle EDF. Okay, now second part is what? EF equal to FG, that we have to prove. So pay attention. To prove this EF equal to FG, what we do, students, we form one triangle which having that sides EF and FG. So triangle EFG is there, having that sides EF and FG, means we have to prove these two sides of this triangle are what? Congruent. And when two sides of triangle are congruent, if opposite angles of that sides are congruent, then if angles are congruent, then opposite sides also congruent. That's the isosceles triangle theorem. Okay, so using that we prove this EF equal to FG. So pay attention what we do here, as DE and FG or GF given as parallel, and as we taking this EG as a transversal, so what we get, that first and this second angle are what? Alternate pair angles. So we can write that the first angle is equal to that second angle. Okay, and what we know about that second and third one? Yes, that the EG is bisector of the angle DEF, and that second and third are the part of that angle DEF, means we can say if EG is a bisector, second and third angle also congruent or equal in measures. Okay, so what we getting here? Yes, that the transitivity property, first angle is congruent with second, second angle is congruent with third, then we can say third angle is congruent with first, or first one is congruent with third, means in triangle EFG we getting that first and third angle are congruent. Okay, and that first and third angles are congruent means that the sides opposite to that angles also congruent, means we can say EF is equal to FG. Like this we prove this. Okay, so pay attention. So like this we prove it. First we taking that the alternate angles T parallel to GF and that EG as a transversal, so that first and second one, these are the alternate pair, that the angle FGE congruent with DEG, alternate angle theorem, number it as 1. Then using that angle bisector property, that the EG, this ray is what? Bisector of angle DEF, so here we getting that two congruent angles, angle FEG and angle DEG. Okay, so as we comparing that first and two in triangle what? EFG, what we getting here, that the angle DEG, and here also as angle DEG, means right side is congruent, right side is same, means left hand side part is also same, and that left hand side part in triangle EFG, that the angle FGE and angle FEG is equal in measures. Okay, and if angles are congruent or equal in measures, then the side opposite to that congruent angles also congruent is the isosceles triangle property, that the converse of it that we have in next topic, and hence we can say EF equal to FG. That we have to prove as our second part. Okay, so like this we have this proof or that example for 4 marks in exam. Okay students. Okay, then next topic is congruence of triangles. Okay, so what we know about that the segments and about angles, if that one segment I place on another and it fits exactly, then we can say that two segments are congruent. Okay, means if that two segments have equal in measures, that the two segments are congruent to each other. If one angle as I place upon that another angle and it fits exactly, then two angles are also congruent angles. Means if that two angles have equal in measures, then that two angles are said to be congruent angles. Similarly, as I take that one triangle and place upon that another triangle and it fits exactly, then that two triangles are said to be congruent triangles. And that congruence of that triangles we verified by these sides and that angles. Okay, so as I take this triangle ABC and place upon that triangle PQR and it fits exactly, what does it mean? That the segments of this triangle ABC fix with triangle segments of triangle PQR, and also that angles of triangle ABC fix exactly with angles of triangle PQR. Then we can say these two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle PQR, are congruent triangles. Getting this? So here we now see the definition of that congruent triangles. So definition is, for given one-to-one correspondence between the vertices of two triangles, if the two conditions satisfies, means that corresponding sides are congruent and corresponding angles are congruent, then two triangles are known as congruent triangles. Okay, so this one-to-one correspondence between the vertices of two triangles, that one-to-one correspondence is very important for congruence of triangles. Okay, so this one-to-one correspondence of vertices we can show by 6 ways, and that 6 ways as we discuss in our Google Meet lecture. Okay, so here that one-to-one correspondence is at the ABC, as we show it by this taking one segment and that two arrows, means that the symbol of line PQR, means that vertex A corresponding vertex is P, for B corresponding vertex is Q, and for C corresponding is R. Okay, and for sides or that segments, for AB corresponding side is PQ, and hence I show here it by that same symbol. Okay, for BC corresponding side is QR, here as you notice students, with same symbol, and that remaining AC corresponding side is PR. Similarly for angle A corresponding angle is P, angle B corresponding angle is Q, and for angle C corresponding angle is R. So there are 6 ways to show this one-to-one correspondence, and by that 6 one-to-one correspondence, at any one of that one-to-one correspondence between that vertices, that given two triangles, as I take one triangle and fix it upon that another and it exactly match that sides and angles, then two triangles are congruent triangles. So here we have that two conditions you say, and if these two conditions verified, then we can say given two triangles are congruent triangles. Okay, so according to triangle ABC and triangle PQR, how we write down it, let me see here, pay attention over here students. So as like this we mention it in triangle ABC and triangle PQR, that the corresponding sides are congruent means for side AB corresponding side is PQ. So side AB congruent with side PQ, side BC congruent with side QR, and side AC congruent with side PR. This is the symbol of that congruence. And also that angles, corresponding angles are congruent means angle A congruent with angle P, angle B congruent with angle Q, and angle C congruent with angle R. Then that given two triangles, that the triangle ABC congruent with triangle PQR. Getting this, students? So using this symbol we show this congruence between the two segments or the two angles or the two triangles. Getting this? Okay, so according to that, the definition of that congruence of triangles, what we notice here, students, to verify that given two triangles are congruent or not, we have to verify these two conditions. Means we have to verify these 6 parts of the triangle, that the 3 sides of that one triangle congruent with that corresponding 3 sides of that another triangle or not, and that 3 angles of that one triangle congruent with that 3 corresponding angles of that another triangle. Okay, but it is not necessary to always verify these 6 parts. If that particular 3 parts also as congruent, then we can say given two triangles are congruent triangles. That particular 3 parts means what? That we say as that test of congruence of triangles, and that is our next topic. Okay, so here we have those tests of congruence of two triangles. ASA test, angle side angle test. In short, we can say ASA. Okay, SAS test, side angle side test. SSS test means side test. And fourth one is hypotenuse side test. Okay, so according to this test of that congruence of triangles, if that 3 particular parts are congruent, then that remaining 3 corresponding that parts means that sides and angles also congruent, and hence using this test we can say that given two triangles are congruent triangles. Okay, now as you turn on page number 30, where we have that definition of this test. Okay, so please turn on page number 30. So here we have those definitions of the test of congruence of triangles. That the first test here, it is ASA test. Okay, so in a correspondence, if two angles of triangle ABC are equal to two angles of triangle PQR and the side included by the respective pairs of angles are also equal, then the two triangles are congruent by ASA test. Getting this, students? The condition is what? That the two angles of one triangle congruent with two corresponding angles of that other triangle, and that side including by that angles also congruent. That the side included by respective pair of angles are also equal. This included part is important. I think this ASA means that S is lies in between that two angles. Very simple definition. If two angles of one triangle equal to the two angles of that other triangle, and that side included by that angles congruent with that another triangle, then two triangles are congruent by ASA test. Okay, now similarly we can define that another test as side angle side test, in short SAS test. What is mean here? that the two sides of one triangle congruent with two corresponding sides of that other triangle, and that angle included by that sides is congruent with that corresponding angle, that angle also included by that corresponding sides, then that two triangles are congruent by SAS test. Okay, so this one, first one is ASA test, second one is SAS test of that congruence of two triangles. Third test is SSS test, means what? Side test. In a correspondence, if three sides of triangle ABC are equal to three corresponding sides of triangle PQR, then that two triangles are congruent. Means according to that definition of congruent of two triangles, that the one condition is corresponding sides are congruent, and that condition only satisfies, then we can say given two triangles are congruent with SSS test, means that remaining parts means that corresponding angles also congruent automatically. Getting this? This one is SSS test. Okay. Fourth test is hypotenuse side test, and that hypotenuse is, as we know, it is only for right angle triangle, means this test is for right angle triangles. Okay, if in triangle ABC and in triangle PQR, angle B and angle Q are right angles as shown in this figure, means these two triangles are right angle triangles, then hypotenuses are equal and AB equal to PQ, means that hypotenuse of that one triangle congruent with that corresponding hypotenuse of other triangle, and that one side of one triangle congruent with that another corresponding side of that other triangle, then that two triangles are congruent by hypotenuse side test. Okay, so here we have the definitions of these four tests. So you have to write down these tests, the definitions, and also draw these figures as shown in these definitions on page number 30, and using this test of that congruence of two triangles, we have to solve that next practice set 3.2 in our next lecture. Okay students, so in the notebook you have to write down that the examples of that practice set 3.1, also write down that the definition of that congruence of two triangles, and then you have to write down these four tests of that congruence of two triangles. That first one as ASA test, second one is SAS test, third one as SSS test, and that fourth one as hypotenuse side test. Okay, thank you, bye bye.